Hey guys, I'm Emily and I'm a student at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming that you want to come here or you're considering coming to the University of Hawaii. But I'm here to answer all of the questions. I posted in my little YouTube community post thing for you guys to ask me some questions, so I have a lot of those that I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to answer some other ones that I've got on DMs and everything. So yeah, just a whole bunch of questions about the University of Hawaii because it helps a lot. Like when I was going to come here last year, I watched so many videos about the University of Hawaii and just like answering random questions just because it made me feel better about coming all the way across the ocean for college. So yeah, I'm a freshman. My major is communications for a little bit of background, and then I also live in California, which is not very far. That might be like the closest you can get out of state going to the University of Hawaii. It's still a big jump. Like regardless of where you're coming from, going across an ocean is a huge jump, and just going to college in general is a huge jump. So yeah, I'm here to answer some questions to make some college scaries a little easier. Let's get right into it. You guys don't need to hear any more of me yapping about that. Okay, in no particular order, I just have a bunch of questions screenshotted. This person said, I noticed there aren't any shelves in one of the dorms y'all were in. Do you get to pick if you want cabinets or not? Because I think it would be great to have cabinets, and it might be disappointing to not have any. So basically, about the cabinets, I am in the freshman towers, which I think most of the freshmen choose to stay in the freshman towers. There's 4 of them. I'm in Ilima. And yeah, these towers, it's basically like a circle, right? And you kind of get a slice of the pie as your room. You do have a roommate in these towers. Like it's a 2 occupancy room. My roommate's bed is over there, as you can see. Here we do have some shelves. I think I'm gonna do another video, which is gonna be a dorm tour, so you can like get a better look at the freshman dorms. So yeah, we do have some shelves here. I put these little like baskets in my shelves so that I have more storage. There's also, I have like a whole wardrobe back here. So yeah, there's definitely storage. I do have friends in Pale Laulima, which is like other freshman dorms. I think they typically call them the overflow dorms, but the friends that I have there wanted to stay there because the rooms are a little bit bigger. There's just pros and cons to both. So definitely things to consider about both. Like you can find them all on the UH website, just like whichever one feels more appropriate to the way you like to live. Also, those dorms are more on campus. The ones that I'm in, the freshman towers, are a little bit more on lower campus, so it's a bit of a farther walk, but I would say it's more like community based over here because there's so many like housing options over here, whereas in the Laulima dorms, they're just a little bit more out of the way from everything, but there's a lot of other pros to being over there. So yeah, they don't technically have shelves like we do here. There's a lot of other pros to being over there. So yeah, you pick and choose, pros and cons. Next question. Even though UH has older dorms, does it really take away from the experience? I don't think it would, but I just wanted an opinion from someone who actually goes there. Yes, I do actually go here. The dorms are really old. The whole school is pretty old. There's definitely some newer buildings, and you can tell what's built newer and not, but it doesn't take away from the experience just because, you're living in Hawaii. Like there's definitely other colleges where you can get like a better dorm experience or maybe some like better dining hall options or whatever, but like you're not gonna be living in Hawaii, so it's still like a pros and cons thing. I haven't noticed it being too much of an issue other than it just like some areas of campus being a little bit ghetto. Nothing like bad though. Like it's totally okay. Like I don't know, you get used to it. It's your college campus, everyone else that goes here goes through the same thing, and like it doesn't take away from the experience or anything, but like it is definitely something to consider if you want to like have a more like college campus traditional vibe or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely still a college campus, and there's classrooms and dorms, and it's great. Yeah, the only thing that I would say is the worst part about living in the freshman tower, and I think every other dorm on campus other than Freyer Hall, there's no air conditioning. And I do think that is partly to do with the dorms being a little older, and it's so hard getting used to it. I'm not even gonna lie, like when I moved in, so hot. Oh my gosh, it was like so hard to sleep at night, but don't even worry, after a couple weeks you get used to it. And then if you're really like that in need of air conditioning, like there is an option where you can have air conditioning and a different housing option. So you win some, you lose some, but yeah, the dorms are pretty nice. It's not like they're falling apart or anything. Next question, how come string lights aren't allowed? They're so cute. Currently watching all of the UH girlies since I want to go there. Okay, yeah, so string lights aren't allowed. There's kind of like a lot of random rules living in the freshman dorms, at least. I'm sure a lot of them account for other dorms as well, but like you're not allowed to have string lights, no portable air conditioning units, you're not supposed to have any kitchen appliances. Like as long as they don't see, they don't know. Not to say that I have any of those things. I'm gonna leave that at that, but it's mostly like a fire hazard thing to like why you can't have string lights or anything. But You could definitely walk around campus and look into the windows of the freshman dorms and see plenty of string lights. So, but like it is mostly a fire hazard thing, I'm pretty sure. And they are pretty strict on it. Like if there's an RA that comes into your room and sees them, like you're gonna get written up. So like be very careful, you know? Okay, next question. Hello, I am considering Manoa for the upcoming year, and I was wondering how the student support is and how safe it is on and around campus. Campus safety, I think it's pretty good. Obviously, I've never had another college campus experience. The campus isn't super big. Like on the weekends, there's almost always other people walking around. And like during the weekdays, I feel like when the dining halls are open, it's still pretty lively around campus, even to like 10 p.m. at night. After that, when it gets a little bit more like barren on the streets and everything, it's a little like, oof, this is a little creepy. But like, yeah, we do have campus escort services, so you just like give them a call if you want to get from one point off campus to another at night and you feel unsafe doing so. So they'll just like come pick you up and take you to where you need to go, but definitely like only use that if you have to, because like they're not like personal Ubers, you know, like it's just a safety thing. So like they don't want to be picking up kids who just don't want to walk. Don't be lazy, just walk. Like be very logical when you're making the decision to call them, but like definitely they're there for your safety. And there's also security apps and like other phone numbers to call, and there's like poles all around campus that have buttons on them. There's a bunch of them, so like if you see one and you feel unsafe, go ahead and give it a button. There's gonna be like 911 at your service. I think it feels pretty safe just like walking around, and there's also a lot of safety features of the campus. I would say like around campus, like more towards Waikiki area, it feels a little less safe. It's a little sketchy off of campus, but on campus is pretty good. Okay, another question. Is it hard for people that go to UH to focus on schoolwork? Obviously, you're living in Hawaii. I could see how it could be very hard to focus on schoolwork when you could be at the beach or going on a hike or whatever. But I think this all just comes down to the type of person you are and like how well you manage your time and your priorities, you know? So I think it's really important to just like keep those things straight. And if you can do that, then there's time to go to the beach. There's time to go on hikes and everything. It's gonna be okay. You just have to like stay locked in, you know? Like if you're coming here just for that, like don't come to college here, just come live. You're coming here for school, like that's the number one thing. And it's just like such a bonus that you get to live in Hawaii, you know? So like just keep your goals straight, focused, you'll be chilling. And then another question, what's the cost like? Best places to save money? Cost, very expensive. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's definitely high in price. I'm coming from California. If you guys live in California, very similar pricing to California, so it wasn't as much of a shock coming here, but just the fact that I'm living on my own, I have to pay for everything on my own now, like it feels like a lot more. And I know my friends who come from different states, they're like, oh my god, it's expensive here. Like, yeah, it is. You know, you can get by, and there's definitely a lot of job opportunities on campus and off campus, so it's definitely easy to get like a part-time job or whatever to make some money while you're going to school here. For best places to save money, honestly, buying stuff at Costco, which is kind of hard because then you buy in bulk, but if you go with your friends and you split everything, it's a lot cheaper than getting groceries from like the grocery store where they can get real expensive. So those are my tips. Next question. I'm going to UH next year, and a big question for me is, can you drink the water in the dorms? Like, why does everyone have gallons in their room? So basically, yes, you can drink the water in the dorms. Like, that's not an issue. The drinking water is okay here. Everyone has the gallons in their dorms. I'll show you. Maya and I, my roommate, we have 2 of these massive gallon jugs of water. Those, we did not buy the gallon jugs. We filled those up at the filler stations that are on the roof. Like all the dorms and everything have like water bottle filling stations, so we use those. We fill up the gallon jugs just because it's easier to fill up our water bottles in our rooms and everything, just if we fill up the gallon jugs first. I don't really know if that makes sense, but it's just a convenience thing. Like you could totally go up to the roof and fill up your water bottle, but we just go through water fast, so we're like, it's easier to just keep like a surplus in our room, so you don't have to go all the way up to the roof every time you want to fill up our water, you know? So that's why everyone has the gallon jugs. A lot of people have Britas too, which Maya and I did have a Brita, but they're a lot smaller than the gallon jugs. And also we decided that the water doesn't need to be filtered again because we already have filtered water. So yeah, the water is safe to drink. Next question. I'm thinking about going to UH, but I live really far away, and I was wondering if it's a hard adjustment moving away from your home. So I definitely think it's a huge adjustment moving away from your home. Anywhere you go, definitely easier if you're closer, because then obviously you're close to your home. Moving across the ocean, yes, it's hard, but like any adjustment is going to be hard, and you're going to get used to it regardless of how far you're going, you know? Like it's just all about adapting to your environment and everything. And really, yeah, we're across the ocean, but like if I was going to college in Florida, like from California, it's a very similar flight, so far away. Like you're probably not gonna drive all the way to Florida or anything. So I don't know, I like to compare it to that, but you know, any college experience is a big adjustment, and you know, it's just like your preference in how you want your college experience to be, how far away you want to be from home, but You'll get used to it, just like anything. Okay, and the next question, hey, I was wondering if your dorm came with a fridge. Yes, as of this fall, like the fall that I moved in, dorms come with a microwave and a mini fridge. Thank the Lord, because oh my gosh, I actually don't know what people did without them in prior years to this, but yes, you do get a mini fridge. It's not very big, especially when you're splitting it with someone else, so don't expect to be putting like a grocery haul in there, but you do get a small fridge and a microwave, like actually the best thing ever, and I'm pretty sure all of the dorms have it now, not just the freshman towers. I think it's all of them. Okay, someone asked if I can give a room tour. I will do that in another video just because I think it would take way too long for just this video. How many classes and credits would you recommend starting out with? Okay, for me, last semester I had 15 credits. Most classes are 3 credits. Some classes are just 1, like labs and stuff. So yeah, last semester I took 5 classes, 3 credits each, so 15 credits. Super chill. I was like, okay, I can handle this. I know I can handle the 5 classes. So now this semester I'm taking 6 classes. However, it's only 16 credits because one of my classes is a lab, which is only 1 day a week. So that's why it's only 1 credit. And I'm thinking next semester I'm going to also take 6 classes, but in 18 credits. We'll see how that goes. But I recommend starting out with something you know you can handle, and then like later semesters adding more classes, you know, because you don't want to go into college already adjusting to so much stuff and then adjusting to like a really hard, heavy class load. So I would definitely say like start out with something you know you could manage for sure, just because there's a bunch of other adjustments going on at that time, and then you can change it how you need from there, you know. But it also just depends what kind of student you are and other things that are going on in your life. Like if you need to work a lot, you probably can't take as many credits. Okay, someone's asking about how UH works for international students. I think it's the same as everyone else. I'm not an international student, but I do know a lot of international students, so I know that it is possible to be here. I think UH actually really does like international students just because it increases the cultural diversity of the campus, which that's something that UH is, I know, really proud of, and we have a really big cultural diversity on campus. I think that honestly probably increases your chances of getting in. But yeah, it's the same as everyone else, I'm pretty sure. I was wondering how you moved all your stuff from the mainland. Did all your family members just pack your stuff in suitcases and then buy the bigger items when you got to Hawaii? That's exactly how that worked, actually. You got it right on. Yes, so I took a lot of stuff here. We had 6 suitcases with the 4 family members. My family came and moved me in, right? There was 4 of us, including myself, and we have 6 suitcases in total. You know, my family packed what they needed for their little vacation, and then all the extra space was mine to move in here. So I had all my clothes, a couple of like other items that I just had at home that we could have shipped, but it was just more expensive to ship them, so we just stuck them in a luggage. Like I had my espresso machine, I had an ice maker, like a bunch of big things that honestly it would be a lot easier to buy here. I did buy a lot of things here. I would say most of the stuff that's in my dorm right now I did buy here when I got to Hawaii, because everything's the same. Like Target's the same here, you can go to Costco, like you can get almost anything here. So I would say like moving, especially since we're going overseas, you know, and you have to pack in suitcases, I think the best idea is just to only bring the things you need and then buy the rest here. So yeah, that's basically how I did it. Tips on making friends there and finding a roommate who you click with. So basically, there's pages on Instagram who are like class of 2028. That's the one I went to when I was coming in here. And you can find a bunch of people. They have little short descriptions of what the people are like, and you can start texting them and everything. And that's actually how I got to know my roommate. And then I was just texting my roommate, Maya, right? And then we happened to be visiting in Hawaii at the same time to tour the campus last year. So we met each other in person and we were like, you know what, we're gonna be good roommates. So we decided to be roommates. So that worked out really well. And then the friends will come. Obviously, you have to put yourself out there. It's hard for me to do that. I'm very not social in that way. Like it's hard for me to go out of my way to make friends and things with people that I don't know. So that can be really hard, I know. Just like know that everyone's in the same boat as you. Go to all of the things that the school puts on at the beginning of the semester, all of the functions and everything. And definitely just put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to talk to people, you know. It's gonna be okay. You can hang out with one person once and maybe you don't click. You can just not hang out with them again. Like, it's not a big deal, you know? Everyone's in the same boat as you. So just try not to worry about it too much because the friends will come, you know? Like, I was so stressed about that. And like my first couple weeks of college, I was like, oh my gosh, so I don't have any friends here. This sucks. But you know, they come. All of my friends came in the right timing, and now I have a very good support group here that I'm very grateful for. So yeah, just relax and take a deep breath and just realize everything's gonna be okay. This other question is, how long is your Thanksgiving break? We don't really get a break. We get Thanksgiving off, the Thursday, and we get the Friday off. 2 days, which is better than no days, I will admit. I wish I could have gone home for Thanksgiving, but we do not get a week. Could you explain about whether the internships/job outcomes are good there? So I don't know because I haven't graduated yet, but I do know there are a lot of job opportunities here, specifically in like travel, industry, that kind of thing, just because there's a lot of tourism here. I know we do have a lot of good internship programs. I actually applied to an internship program. I didn't get it, spoiler alert, but it's okay. But I was really excited about it because it would have been really good for my major, which is communications. But there's definitely a lot of opportunities. Even on campus, there's so many like jobs that are so major specific, and I feel like, I don't know if other colleges have that, but like it's just so nice. Like you search up your major and then it's like, here's some jobs that the school is literally hiring for to teach you these things. So that's really cool. Next question. Can you explain how meal swipes and dining dollars work? Okay, I don't know if all colleges do this, but UH has the weirdest meal program. Basically, if you're living on campus, you have to have a meal program thing. There's definitely a lot of options though. First semester, I had the 14 meal swipes program, which meant I got 14 like swipes on my UH card a week. That dining plan comes with a certain amount of dining points, which is basically just money that's preloaded onto like your UH card. I'm not really sure why we have that, but it's fine. Like it's paid with like my UH room and board payments. Yeah, basically that's all on your your UH like student ID card thing. So yeah, the points are basically a large amount of money that you get to spend throughout the semester, and then it rolls over to the next semester if you don't use it all. And then the swipes, they don't roll over. They reset at midnight on Saturday nights, and you get a new set of however many you choose the week after that. Yeah, right now I have 10 meal swipes, which gives me a little bit more dining points because I have less meal swipes. I think I'm gonna go back to 14 meal swipes though next semester because the 10 goes pretty fast. But yeah, you can use them at like the market or anything, or even on campus dining. You're able to like use your meal swipes if you have extra ones or anything. That's basically how that works. It's really confusing, but you'll get the hang of it if you end up coming here. I'm moving into an apartment for later years. So next semester I'm trying to get into Freyer, which is the air conditioned building, which that'd be so wonderful. And I'm trying to do a 4-room 4-occupancy dorm, which would be so wonderful, but I haven't heard back yet, so I don't know if I got it. If my roommates and I don't get that, we're probably gonna start looking for like a house or an apartment off campus. I'm thinking by my junior year we're gonna try to live off campus, but it's just more cost efficient and convenient for us right now to stay on campus. So yeah. What is the best and worst part of campus/dorm life? So the best part is that you're living in Hawaii and you get to like kind of like live with all of your friends on campus, which is just so fun. Like literally all my friends live on campus and y'all get to hang out. We're just like a walk away from each other. So that's definitely one of my favorite parts of dorm life. And then the worst part, I would say, honestly, the dining's really not great. Like our dining hall, the campus center food options pretty good, right? They're just a little more expensive, but the dining halls, not fabulous. Maybe that's a universal college experience, but they're not the favorite of mine. I have pizza and french fries almost every night for dinner, so it's definitely hard to get my nutrition in, but there's definitely ways to do it. That's probably the worst part, honestly. And maybe just like, I don't know, there's not a lot of bad parts, and like the dining hall kind of works. I don't know, I love it here. I think this is a very good option for me. So next question. How's the food on campus? So just talked about it, not great, at least at the dining halls. We have 2 dining halls. We have Aloha Cafe, which is right by the freshman dorms, and then we also have Gateway Cafe, which is underneath the Gateway dorms. Yeah, they have different hours, so that's why I think we have 2 of them, but most of them they're both open for dinner most nights. But yeah, Gateway's actually okay. Sometimes they have some better dining options. Campus Center though, we have Starbucks, we have Jamba Juice. Just the Campus Center like food court's pretty good. And we have a Subway. Like there's some good options, but just like the dining halls are not my favorite. Okay, next question. Oh, they'd love to see a dorm tour. Perfect, coming. Oh, they're wondering if I have any out-of-state friends that are like really far away, East Coast, and how do they like the school? So I do have a friend who lives in Indiana. I think that's the farthest friend I've got. She has quite the flight to get here. That's not considered East Coast, that's the Midwest, but that's definitely the farthest I've got. I do know people who have come from much farther though, and I work with some people who go to UH who live much farther, but I just don't know their life as much. But I know my friend Taylor, she lives in Indiana. She loves it here. She said it's just like such a different like vibe, obviously from like most places, but like Indiana, it's just such a big difference. She comes from a small town in Indiana. Now she's in Hawaii, and I know she loves it, and the flight's pretty long for her, but I know she thinks it's worth it. I think she really enjoys it. Next person, I was wondering if you'd recommend a dehumidifier, humidifier / air purifier. Also, what would you recommend to pack? We do not need a humidifier here. Do not have a humidifier here. It's so humid. We do have an air purifier, my roommate and I think it's a air purifier / dehumidifier thing. Honestly, we've had it all semester, so I don't know how our room would be if we didn't have it. I'm sure it helps a lot. I'm sure it helps with like making our air cleaner and everything. I don't think you need it, but I do think it would probably help and make your dorm life a little bit easier. And then what would I recommend to pack? As little as possible. Literally, like, the least amount of things you can pack and bring here, because you just have to take it there and back, you know, like, you just have to move a lot of stuff. Obviously, like, I took 6 suitcases here, so you're gonna be okay if you need to bring a lot. Is the weather actually always warm and sunny? Yes, literally always, except for when it's raining. Mostly in the winter, it's like rainy season. This winter at least was not super rainy. There was like 1 week where it got like a little chilly. By a little chilly, it was like probably 73 degrees, so that was cold. I wore a jacket. Yeah, it never gets that cold. Like, I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 weeks in my entire like year of being here where it got rainy and a little chilly and like pretty windy. That's about it. Although honestly, most days it's warm and sunny. Okay, next question is, what part were you most scared of when going to college in Hawaii, and what were you most looking forward to? So I was most scared of not making friends. I was so terrified I wouldn't make friends, and I know that's such a valid thing to be afraid of, but I would want to like bring it up again that you guys don't need to be afraid of that. Like, it will come. You just need to trust the process and just be patient and take a deep breath and not stress. You're gonna be okay. The thing I was most looking forward to, oh my gosh, I remember telling everyone who asked me what I was most excited about, told every single person, I'm excited to be tan year round, and I think that holds true. First of all, I don't like the cold, so like being warm year round, so wonderful. I get very bad seasonal depression, so if it got cold here, I would have a depressed winter. I love being tan. Tanness, like, I think just like having the sun out in general just determines a lot of my happiness. So honestly, that's what I was most looking forward to. And just like a new adventure, a new chapter in my life, new scenery, not living in the same place I've lived for 18 years. Hi guys, I'm back. It's another day, but there's more questions, and I just decided that this is going to be the longest video ever, and it's just gonna be okay because I'm gonna answer all your guys' questions. So yeah, let's get into it. Also, I probably look rough right now. I just woke up from a nap. Let's not talk about it. Next question is, what is the ratio of local people to others out of state? Also, is there like a division between the two groups, or do they interact? I've met people from in-state and out-of-state. I don't know if I could tell you the ratio. Most of my friends are out-of-state. I think that's just kind of how it goes because I'm in the dorms, and a lot of people from in the dorms are out-of-state people. One of my closest friends here, Lexi, she lives here, so there is that. But she's coming to UH next year, which is so exciting because she's still in high school. But she's coming to UH, and so excited for her to be here. I don't know if I have a good inclination of the ratio though, but like I've met plenty of people from both, so you know, there's definitely a good amount of both. I wouldn't see one side towering too much over the other. In high school, what did you do to make sure you got in? Like, did you do a running start, or did you do a lot of community service, etc.? In high school, I honestly didn't do a lot of community service. My grades were really good. I think my weighted GPA was like 4.4 or something. Unweighted, maybe it was like 3.9, somewhere around there. So my grades were really good. I worked a little bit in high school too, so that probably helped out a lot. But like, as for community service, I didn't really do any of that. Like, honestly, I don't think this is the hardest school to get into. I think like as long as your grades are pretty decent, like you're going to have fine time getting in. I wasn't too worried about it, and honestly, if you feel confident in your grades, then I think you're gonna be okay. How long did it take for me to find out that I got in, and were there any essays for the application? How are your grades, and is it easy to stay motivated even in paradise? Okay, that's kind of a lot of questions, but it's okay, I got this. How long it took me to find out I got in? I think it actually took a while. I did an early application, I think, or maybe I just like, honestly, that was a long time ago, guys, but I remember I applied like as early as I could for coming here in fall 2024, so sometime in 2023 I applied. Fall 2023, I think I applied, sometime in there, and I think it ended up taking it like a little bit of time to get in, but it was one of the first schools I knew I got into because I also applied first, so there is that. Are there any essays for the application? When I applied, there were not any essays. It was a pretty straightforward application. I'm not sure if there's essays now. I wouldn't think that they would change it, but there wasn't when I applied. How are my grades? I just kind of talked about my grades, so there is that. They were pretty good. Is it easy to stay motivated even in paradise? I think so. I talked about this yesterday when I did the other questions that I did, but like it's all about how you manage your time and everything, and honestly just like knowing that you came here for school and not to just be in paradise. Obviously it is a pro and you can definitely take advantage of living here, but like you're here for school, you know, and it's like the reason you come here. And honestly, for me, it's easier to stay motivated when I live in such a amazing environment, because like if I lived somewhere where I wouldn't want to do activities or go to the beach or do any of those sort of things, I feel like I wouldn't honestly be as motivated in school, because just the environment that I'm in makes me more motivated, if that makes sense. Like just being outside motivates me. So there's that. Do you feel like college in Hawaii is over glamorized by the media, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest? And how is your experience so far with living in Hawaii? I actually do really think that college in Hawaii is over glamorized. I love it here, but in social media, I feel like all that you see about going to the University of Hawaii is like just living in Hawaii, which is so fun, so great, and I love it that it's a part of it. But anyone who wants to like stay here as a student, it's definitely not the reality all the time, because you do have to study and everything. Like I had class today. I have class every day of the week except the weekends and Friday. Like I'm not just, going out and having fun every single day. And also like it is kind of hard to get some of the experiences a lot of people probably show in social media. Like I don't have a car here, so I have to take the bus somewhere, and I feel like that's not showed very much. Or like an Uber or something, and that can get really expensive. Or like even a moped. I know a lot of people drive mopeds, but they're kind of dangerous. I would love to get a moped, but I'm just too scared I'm gonna crash it. But I've heard like a lot of moped accidents, those kinds of things. Yeah, those are just basically my thoughts on that. Like definitely, totally, you get the part that is glamorized in the media and everything, but there's a lot of other parts of it where you just have to consider that you're coming here for school, Oh wait, that's actually all the questions. So I've just yapped forever, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this helped. If you have any more questions, I can answer them in the comments down below, or I can make another video if you want more in-depth questions. Like, just let me know what you want in the comments, please. And I will also make a dorm tour soon, because I think that'd help y'all out a lot. I gotta clean my dorm though, because I'm not gonna lie, my dorm's really messy right now. There's stuff everywhere. I love you guys, and don't forget to subscribe and like for more University of Hawaii content, or if you just want to watch more of my videos, because I'm not going to be here in the summer. So if you want to watch what I get up to in the summer, you can also subscribe. Love you guys, and stay safe, and I hope you all come here and love it so much. Or maybe you decided that this school isn't for you after this video, and that's totally okay too. I hope I made your college decisions easier. Anyways, kisses. Mwah. See you like next week probably. Bye.